Tonight, America is going to set fire to more than $2 billion. On purpose. Families will drive to a tent in a parking lot, hand over $50, $100, $300, and walk out with cardboard tubes full of gunpowder. And within a few hours, all of it becomes smoke. No refunds, nothing left to show for it but a memory. It might be the fastest legal way to destroy money that exists. And here's the strange part. Your brain, the same brain that falls for every pricing trick in the store, is convinced this is a great deal. By the end of this video, you might agree, because the $2 billion America burns tonight might quietly be the smartest money it spends all year. This is the economics of fireworks, and the story starts in a city most Americans have never heard of. First, the number. In the year 2000, Americans spent about $400 million on backyard fireworks. Last year, it was $2.3 billion. That is not steady growth. That is an explosion. Almost 6 times bigger in 25 years. And here's what makes fireworks unlike any other product in the store. Almost all of that money gets spent in a single week, and almost all of the product gets destroyed in a single night. Picture a business that's only really open 7 days a year. Its product cannot be reused, resold, or returned. Every single customer plans to burn what they buy on the same night at the same hour. That business should not exist. No investor would touch it. A product with a lifespan of 30 seconds sold from folding tables and roadside tents to customers who show up once a year. Instead, it grew almost 6 times over while everyone was watching. Something deeper than things that go boom is driving that. But before we get to your brain, we have to answer a simpler question. Where do $2 billion of fireworks even come from? Basically, one place. Luoyang, a city in Hunan, China, that has been making fireworks for more than 1,000 years. Today, roughly 1 out of every 3 fireworks on planet Earth comes out of this one city. Its factories turn out around $7 billion of fireworks a year. And when you zoom out to the whole country, the number gets absurd. 99% of the fireworks in that parking lot tent are made in China. 9 out of 10 of the big professional shells, too. Think about that for a second. The most American night of the year, the rockets, the red glare, the backyard grand finale, is almost entirely made in China. Your 4th of July has a hometown, and it's 7,000 miles from the nearest cookout. That's not a problem until the two countries start fighting about trade, which is exactly what happened on the road to tonight. America turns 250 years old this weekend. 2.5 centuries, celebrated the way John Adams himself suggested, with illuminations from one end of the continent to the other. It's being called the biggest fireworks year in American history, with the Capitol planning its largest show ever. And that party was very nearly ruined. Not by weather, not by war, by paperwork. Here's why. Fireworks run on a 12 to 18-month supply chain. The shells you'll see tonight were ordered more than a year ago. There's also a catch most people never hear about. Chinese factories largely stop making fireworks in the hottest summer months because the work gets too dangerous. So the window to order is narrow. And in April of 2025, right in the middle of that window, tariffs on Chinese goods spiked as high as 145%. A container of fireworks suddenly cost almost 2.5 times as much. Importers froze their orders. Small towns started canceling their shows because the price of the night sky went up. A trade pause later brought the rate down, and the industry raced to stock up in time for the big birthday. The shows survived. But the scare revealed something strange. America's proudest tradition depends on a single supply chain it doesn't control, running through one city in China. Now let's be brutally honest about what a firework is, financially. You buy an asset that loses 100% of its value the moment you use it. A car depreciates over years, a phone over months. A firework depreciates in seconds, into literal smoke. It is the fastest depreciating thing you can legally buy. There is no used market, no trade-in program, no resale value. You cannot list smoke online. And it gets worse. Last year, an estimated 13,000 Americans ended up in the emergency room because of fireworks. The single biggest cause, burns. Hands and fingers get hurt most, faces second. At least 15 people didn't survive the season. This year alone, more than 100,000 fireworks were recalled before the holiday for safety problems. So, on paper, guaranteed total loss, plus a real chance of physical harm. No financial advisor on earth would approve this purchase. It should be the dumbest thing America buys. So why doesn't it feel that way? Why does it feel like the opposite? This is where your brain comes in and where the story flips. In 2003, two psychologists, Van Boven and Gilovich, asked people a deceptively simple question. Which purchases actually make you happier, things or experiences? The answer across study after study, once your basic needs are covered, experiences win. And they don't just win on day one, they keep winning for years. Here's the mechanism. You adapt to stuff fast. The new phone feels incredible for about a week. Then it's just your phone, and your brain is already shopping for the next hit. But you adapt to memories, slowly, if at all. The night the whole street stood in the dark and looked up at the same sky doesn't wear out the same way. You can't leave it in a drawer. You can't scratch it. Nobody releases a newer model of it next year. Your brain treats it as part of who you are, not something you own. And that's why the comparison isn't even close over time. The thing loses value every day you own it, while the memory quietly holds its value, or grows. Now look at a firework again. It looks like a thing, a product in a box with a price tag. But nobody is buying the cardboard tube. You're buying 10 seconds where everyone you love looks up at the same time. It's an experience wearing a thing costume. And the deal gets sweeter because fireworks come bundled with two free happiness multipliers. First, anticipation. In 2014, researchers found that simply waiting for an experience makes people happier, while waiting for a thing mostly just feels like waiting. People waiting on a package refresh the tracking page. People waiting on a vacation daydream about it at their desk. Same waiting, completely different feeling. The study was literally called Waiting for Merlot. Think about what that means for tonight. Every kid who spent this week counting down the days has already been enjoying the purchase before a single fuse is lit. That week of excitement costs nothing, and it's included in the box. Second, ritual. In 2013, researchers had people perform small rituals before eating chocolate. The ritual alone made the chocolate taste better and feel more valuable. It worked on lemonade. It even worked on carrots. Carrots. Now scale that up. The 4th of July is the biggest shared ritual in America. The grill, the flag on the porch, the drive to the fireworks tent, arguing over which box, waiting for the sky to get dark. If small rituals can upgrade a carrot, a national ritual is likely doing serious work on those final 30 seconds of light. So here's the pattern worth stealing, because it works the other 364 days too. Think about the purchases you actually regret. It's almost never the concert, the road trip, or the night out with people you love. It's the gadget sitting in a drawer, the clothes with the tags still on, the subscription you forgot you had, the stuff. Your brain keeps score in memories, not in objects. But almost everything a store wants to sell you is an object. So flip it on purpose. Before you buy, ask one question. In 1 year, will this be a memory or will this be clutter? The dinner with your dad, the tickets to the game, the trip you planned for months. Those pass the test. Most of the cart doesn't. The money rule hiding inside fireworks night is this. When you spend on shared experiences, anticipation and ritual come free, and the memory appreciates while every object depreciates. $50 of smoke that your kids talk about for years beats $50 of plastic everyone forgets by August. Spend where the memory lives. So tonight, when the sky lights up, you'll know what you're actually looking at. $2 billion made in one Chinese city squeezed through a trade war, sold from a tent, burning into smoke in minutes. The worst asset in America and one of the best purchases in it at the same time. And somehow, still one of the best deals your brain will ever get. Just respect the thing. An estimated 13,000 people a year find out the hard way that gunpowder doesn't care about psychology. Light it, step back, look up. Happy 250th America. And if you want the 9 other ways your brain plays games with your money, the full breakdown is right here on the channel. Subscribe so your brain stops costing you money. See you in the next